Not odd was what happened this weekend.
Oh, my God.
It was ugly. Not
Yeah,
odd. It was flat out ugly.
It was ugly.
And we've had 24 hours, really more, 36 to digest what happened Saturday night, Game 1, Knicks Cavs. I'll let you guys take it away and run with wherever you want.
Well, I'll set up what you want to do.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. Mikey wants to do a shot clock gimmick. 4 topics in 24 minutes on the Cavs loss. 101-97. I thought they fell behind too many times. We always talk about this. It takes so much energy to dig out of a 12-point hole.
Yep.
And typically, once you get your head above the waterline, you're so tired that you sink because it takes so much energy to come back. And that's exactly what happened. They expelled way too much energy coming back from these double-digit deficits.
Yeah.
In the end, Donovan Mitchell is not enough for this team. He's not LeBron James.
Nope.
If LeBron James is in for Donovan Mitchell, they win that game by 10.
There's only one LeBron James.
There's only one. He's a freak of nature. Everybody else, and I mean everybody else, disappointed me. The bench had 14 points, guys.
Yeah, this game, I thought it was embarrassing. I thought the Cavs were humiliated. It's weird because the score's only a 3-point game, and it felt like the Knicks completely dominated. And I've heard some people say,
4 points.
4 points. I've heard some people say, well, this guy's not going to play so badly for the Cavs, whether it's all these guys.
Can we guarantee that?
But here's the thing. The Knicks sixth man of the year, he didn't score a point.
No.
Jalen Brunson barely played in the first half because of foul trouble.
Yeah, but Hart killed it.
Hart was incredible, and that was his first ever NBA playoff game. He's been in the league a while. I don't want to hear this nonsense, guys, about lack of experience.
I don't either.
The Kings had no experience. They came back down double digits against the defending champs.
A team with more playoff experience than any team ever.
Exactly. The Cavs were dominated. You look at Jared Allen's numbers, 14 and 14. If you just saw the box score, you'd be like,
yeah, but what was he, like 3 of 14 or something?
No, that was Mobley.
No, yeah, Mobley
was terrible.
Oh,
and I was saying this to G yesterday. Early in the game, first minute, Mobley takes a shot, misses, gets the putback dunk, jams it home, screams at, what's his name, Mitchell Robinson, and you're like, all right, he's fine.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything the rest of the game.
Yeah, then he disappeared.
Every time the Cavs needed a big rebound, the Knicks got the ball. Every time.
I thought he spent too much time out on the perimeter. What's he doing out there?
I don't know. No clue what he was doing.
I look at it like this. I always say, I'm going to go to watch the other games. I watched the other games, and I watched last night, I watched the Phoenix Suns versus the Clippers, right? And Kawhi Leonard comes in and reminds everybody why he's Kawhi Leonard, and the others get involved, the Zubaks of the world. You got Russell Westbrook played well. Powell came off the bench. Eric Gordon was hitting 3 after 3. And I'm watching these other games, and it's a different level. These guys, the bench guys are coming in locked and loaded. They run offense and run sets and plays. They don't just come down every play and run pick and roll and let Donovan Mitchell figure out what he's going to do.
Yeah, the offense was unimaginative.
And Donovan Mitchell is a great player, and nobody really is LeBron. But, I mean, he was the only person that showed any fire, any resolve. And the most disappointing thing of all is I really think our two bigs got punked.
Oh,
I really think
unquestionably.
I think they really
got hit in the mouth, and instead of hitting back, they just cowered.
That was
our Fear Friday.
Allen was the worst part. He looked like he saw a ghost.
Yeah.
And Julius Randle looked like he intimidated him. The two guys came off the bench, intimidated him. And for me, if they don't win this game, it's a wrap. And I agree with you, Bull. All of these guys. Here's what we need to learn in Cleveland. We make the most excuses in the world.
Yes, we do.
It's almost disgusting to talk about games with fans now because they rationalize Rubio won't be as bad. Listen, he scored 0 points. People telling me Dean Wade was out there for cardio. He might as well have been on a treadmill
By the way,
or a bike.
We all agreed with the move at the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so none of us are here to now become, revisionist historians.
Yeah.
But Kevin Love looked like Kevin Love yesterday.
He could have helped us.
He had 18 points.
He did have a good game yesterday.
He outscored the entire Cavs bench.
Yeah, the Cavs, Josh Hart in this game outscored the Cavs bench.
So did Hart.
The Knicks have a useful bench. Like all 4 of the guys that came off their bench. And again, what's his name? Quickly, he didn't have a good game, but we know he's had a great year. The other 3 guys, Hartenstein, who was here.
Right.
And Hart, and who's the other guy? Toppin. They all played well. The Cavs bench was garbage. And, that's the answer is Jetty all that time. And, by the way, in the first half, there was a 6-minute stretch
Crazy.
where they played Rubio, Jetty, and
Wade at the same
Dean
time.
Wade together.
And they got outscored by 14 points in those
What
7 minutes.
what was JB thinking? Those three guys.
Let's grade JB, guys, because we didn't have a playoff resume for him to really go off of.
Yeah. F.
He didn't have a timeout, guys, at the end of the game in his
inexcusable.
pocket.
Inexcusable.
I mean, that's beyond a rookie mistake. You can't make that mistake in high school or college.
No,
You got a close game and you burn your last time out before the end of the game?
To me, everybody besides Donovan Mitchell on this roster, coaching staff gets either a D or an F.
I'm with you, Bull.
I think
know
they
it
were a
sounds harsh, but I'm
disgrace.
with you.
Tibbs, and a lot of people don't say, well, what is the coach going to do? He doesn't shoot the basketball, but a coach knows who can and won't shoot the basketball.
Yeah.
So your coach can't be putting Dean Wade in the game and he's the first guy off the bench.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dean Wade ain't been in rotation the whole second half of the season.
Yeah.
That's the guy you bring out. And if you at least if Okoro can't shoot, where is Stevens? Where is Stevens? I can at least put him on Brunson.
Or Danny Green.
Why was Danny Green acquired?
Yeah.
Can someone help me here?
I mean, at least he's not going to choke in a big spot.
I'll tell you, for as much praise as we gave the front office for making the Mitchell thing happen, after that, I think they crapped the bed the rest of the year with their moves and the things that they've done. This bench, why did we even think that this bench was playable?
I don't know.
I mean, we kept, you know what? It's because we're Cleveland fans. We asked this on Friday. You know what the chat said? It was, McNugget said it was one of the biggest responded to polls we've ever done. 700 votes.
Yeah.
You know what they said? 95%. Now, they might still win the series.
Yeah.
95% Cavs are going to win the series.
Right, and then everybody's making excuses
Why
when
were
they
we
lose.
fooling ourselves? This bench is not good
Hey,
enough.
listen, and the series could turn around and it looks like a different
It
game.
could. It absolutely
but
could.
right now, it feels like the Knicks have 9 legitimate players and the Cavs have 4.
You know, right now, if
Yeah.
you took the seeds away from the team's names,
Yeah.
right now, just going off the way they played in game one, heart intensity, the depth of the bench, the lack of a bench for the Cavs, I would say that the Knicks are the overwhelming favorite now to win this series, and I don't think the Cavs will push it to 7 games.
And the whole series rides on game 2. I mean,
That's
have to
it.
win game 2.
You're right. You lose that, book it. It's
then
over.
it's over.
And
They
it
are
might
the-
be a
They are the
sweep.
Vegas favorites now, by the way.
Well, they should be.
They should, yeah.
They-
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. If they lose this game tomorrow, or Tuesday, right?
Tuesday.
If they lose this game, tomorrow.
tomorrow is Tuesday.
Yeah. If they lose tomorrow, you're staring at a sweep because they're going to go back to Madison Square Garden. That crowd's going to be like a group of alligators that hasn't eaten in 10 days.
They're going to be on.
yeah.
And red meat just got thrown
If
into
the
the pit.
Cavs lose game 2 and play like they did, like they're going
Done.
out quick.
Done.
I mean, they got to change it around right now.
The crowd is going to be on meth or crack, one or the other. They're going to be foaming at the mouth.
Yeah.
And just because I call myself jokingly the Duke of Knee Jerk, just because you sit at home and say, I'm not worried, doesn't mean you know what the hell you talking about.
No, not at all.
When you go to the doctor and he tell you you got a terminal illness, it don't matter if you want to believe or not what you got. Like, you gonna sit at the home and not take no medicine? Y'all cats kill me with this. Like, that bench is not gonna get it done over at Olentangy River Road Basketball Community Center playing with McNuggets and his people.
You know,
it's not.
You know how we talked about all season long with the Browns? I brought up that they have, like, their problem with the Browns is their mid-tier is not good enough, right?
Yeah.
They got all these superstars. They got enough superstars.
Studs and duds, we call
The
them.
Cavs are the same way.
Yeah.
I know he didn't play yesterday, but I feel like they have one mid-tier player, LeVert. He'd have a bad game, but generally he's a mid-tier player. They got 4 guys who are generally excellent starters. They got a mid-tier player in LeVert. The rest of the team sucks.
You're right.
The rest of the team
I
is
mean, you're
crap.
right. When you go 7 and down, you're looking at these guys going, wait a minute, why did anybody ever think that this bench could outplay the Knicks bench?
Now, I have no interest in seeing Isaac Okoro play. He's doing pump fakes with nobody there. He's scared to shoot the ball. I mean, have you ever seen a game where a team missed more easy baskets than the Cavs did?
Now
Easy
listen, that's
baskets.
okay. So on that point, Bull,
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a silver lining here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see, and to your point, I'm not just going to say, well, they can't play worse.
Yeah.
They can.
Yeah, it could
they
get
can.
worse.
But on the silver lining front, and one of the questions here is, are the mistakes fixable? That was one of the topics we wanted to dive into.
Yeah.
Well, hell, make your baskets. Make your easy baskets.
So many.
Make your layups. Make
Yes.
your stuff in close. Mobley, no more loitering out at the three-point line. You can't shoot that shot anyhow. What are you doing?
I have no idea
What
what
are
he's
you?
doing.
Get your ass
And
in the
Jeff,
below the
Get
post
some freaking rebounds.
and get rebounds. If they continue to get out rebounded like they did in game
Yeah.
one, it's over. And I don't know, can we show video or not, McNuggets?
Well, how about this, Jay?
I wanted to show the 101.97, the made free throw that made it 101.97. If you can call up that video, anyhow, anyway. It was on Twitter. I saw a lot of people were tweeting it. At the time, I'm like, how did they not call that a foul? I'm not kidding you. Mitchell almost got punched in the face.
On the free throw itself.
On the free throw that made it 101.97. Now, it ended up not mattering because the free throw went in.
Yeah.
But Julius Randle bodied Mitchell twice so hard, Mitchell almost fell.
Let me tell you something.
And there was no whistle.
Julius Randle was beating the crap out of the Cavs the whole game, and they didn't do anything.
Bull, on Friday, you weren't here.
Yeah.
We had said, Brad brought this up.
Yeah.
The league needs the Knicks to advance. They've been persona non grata for 30 years.
Yeah.
The television contracts are set off playoff ratings. End of story.
Yeah.
They need them to get to a second round. It's the number one market in the United States.
Yeah.
It's going to inflate the TV number no matter what. He said that, and I go, and you know what? They're going to let Randle be Randle. They're going to let him be the bull in the china shop.
Yeah.
And we've got guys in Allen and Mobley that when they get hit in the mouth, they hold it, and instead of firing back.
Right.
And Tibbs knows that,
Yeah.
and the league let him go.
Yeah.
And if they continue to officiate it like that, this
I
thing
thought
won't
it was
even be
a fair.
close.
I thought it was a fairly called game. I had no problem.
I
with
just
it.
thought there were times he was way too aggressive.
Well, they looked to see if it was an intentional foul on that one play or a flagrant.
Yeah, flagrant.
And I didn't think it was, but I don't know. Like the Cavs got to fight back.
Yes.
Show some freaking toughness.
I
agree.
Hey man, I don't know what it is. I can't tell you what it is, but this is a bad thing. If the hardest team that I've ever seen in the history of Cleveland sports while I've been here is a baseball team, if that's the most intimidating team in the 95, you got a problem. Because I watch these guys, and here we said all year, you know, people want to, I love the chemistry. I love how these guys love each other. They look like they're having so much fun. I'm going to tell y'all something right now. 90% of y'all get mad if you want. If you ain't never played nothing, you don't understand that people that play like that will never win at the highest level.
No.
Because somebody, not even Julius Randle, you think Julius Randle is bad. Wait till you get to seeing assassins like Chris Paul or guys that don't care nothing about you. You can't be nice and think that you're going to run around here in the regular season and playoffs come. It's a different game.
Yeah.
And Jared Allen, you look like you saw a whole different, like you was like, where did this come from?
Yeah, it was a level that they'd never seen before.
You're right. I think the Cavs and Browns both come off as soft teams. Now, hopefully that will change.
You're right.
But it's like you need a couple of asses on the team.
You know, we talked about this with Ohio State. Maurice Clarett came on and said, I love my Buckeyes. I think that they have the talent to win it.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, they're too pretty.
Yeah.
And that's it. I don't want pretty. I want gritty. In the playoffs, I need guys that are going to get dirty and are okay with getting hit in the mouth and then hitting back.
Let's go.
And they look like the Buckeyes. They just were like, you know, oh, whoa, you're going to get physical?
Yeah.
And they tapped out. They've got 24 hours to fix this.
If you're Thibodeau, don't you basically say like,
oh, keep it up.
If I'm the Knicks, first of all, I'm telling them, beat the crap out of them all the time.
Yep.
Number two, I'm like, let's just double team Mitchell all the time and force the other guys to beat us because they're all playing gutless. I mean, where was Darius Garland in the second half? Did
Good
he
question.
Play?
Very good
He didn't
question.
shoot.
Did he? How many
He didn't
points
take a
did he
shot.
have
I don't
in
think
the
he
second
shot in the
half,
second
Mike?
half.
He didn't take a shot.
I think he had 2 free field goal attempts the entire second half. I found the free throw attempt, though. That's Garland's stat.
1 assist? What?
He had 1 assist, 5 turnovers. Now, granted, assists, you can make a pass. If your teammate misses it could still be the right play. They
He was
missed
bad.
a ton of shots. The Bigs missed a bunch of potential assists for him. He didn't play good, though.
No.
I found the free throw, Jay. I think you meant Mobley.
Yeah, I said Mitchell. I meant Mobley. Do you have the?
We have it. We can play it.
You don't think that's a foul?
Not in that situation, no.
The free throws, by the way, Cavs sucked shooting free throws.
I know they did. Okay, I think it's on a loop here. I mean, he just gets chucked out of the way.
Oh, my God.
Hey,
And that's
that's a guy who weighs 240 going against a guy that weighs 185.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I don't
Get
think
out.
that's a foul.
I
don't
don't
think that's a foul. I mean,
I do. I think it's a foul. It's 2 shoves in the back.
So here's what
And they didn't even.
I didn't even notice that. I didn't think it was a foul. I'm with Mike.
You don't
but
you still, even after looking at it?
I don't. I just think that's like they're both going after the ball.
You know,
oh, he kicked his ass.
It's called one dude being way stronger than the other guy.
Thin Duncan.
Who said that?
No, that was on the tweet. Thin Duncan.
Who came up with that, Thin Duncan?
That's going to stick. That's going to stick.
Oh, man. He should be in the gym the entire offseason, man.
I'm told he is.
Hey,
Well,
listen,
we need to get this guy bigger. I mean,
He's
maybe
put on
he
20 pounds since his rookie year. He's also just 21. Like this, his body in 5 years.
Well, how old
I
is
know.
Mitchell?
He'll look different.
How old is Mitchell Robinson at this point?
I think like 24,
25 maybe.
Man, he only played. By the way, that guy he and Randall had
He's 25.
10 offensive rebounds, and they only played like 50 minutes between them. Allen and Mobley had 10 offensive rebounds in 80 minutes.
Here's my problem, McNuggets. My problem is all year when it came to JB Bickerstaff and how he talked about his team, right? He would always make excuses. Well, these guys are younger. We just trying to figure it out. Blah, 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 whatever the case. Kumbaya, whatever. Guess what? You could have done something that would have signaled out to your team. He could have came in the press conference and said, "Look, we're young. We're young. We're inexperienced, but we got bullied out there. Some people need to look in the mirror and figure out are they going to be men or how they going to handle this because New York came in here and kicked our ass, and this is what it is. Now, when you say that publicly, as a man, you have to go back and look at your people like, we're not about to do that again. If we're going to lose and we lose straight up, fine. But we are not losing getting bullied by people. And really, it comes down to this. Who's going to hit? You're at home. You got the home quarter behind them. Give them something to cheer about. And Donovan Mitchell, if JB ain't going to do it, hey, come here, Darius Garland. I need you to do something. Where the hell are you at?
Exactly.
By the way, did you know
shots in the second
Isaiah Hartenstein was like on the Cavs last year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why did we just give him? What happened? Did they cut him?
I don't think they cut him. He's bounced around. He's also
like he's a player. I mean, he's not a star or anything.
He's better than Lopez.
There's a Tibbs brand of player.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That player is a guy who gets more out of his body.
Yeah.
Than his skill set says you should get.
Yeah.
That player is going to go hard for whether it's 6 minutes or 48 minutes.
Yeah.
Whether it's the opening tap or the last possession of the game, he's going to ball out. He's going to give everything he has. There's that Tibb philosophy that guys, and they're very well aware of what they need, what they have to do to please their coach. And they're out there doing it for him. What's the JB player?
I don't know.
I think it's to be fair to JB, I think it's too early to know what a JB player is. Thibodeau's been a head coach for over a decade in the NBA.
I know, but there should be some sort of thing developed. We know what a Tito player looks like.
Hey,
Now, I know he's been there forever. But we've seen JB in this role for long enough to say, oh, his players all
are nice guys.
And to be truthful, you can see the difference. You can see the difference between Thibodeau and JB by just this. From the tip, even when you said they called the game evenly, which I thought it was relatively even.
I don't remember saying, "Oh, that's a terrible call or non-call."
But even when it was even, Tibbs was on the referee.
Hey, he worked him hard
from the start. Even the plays they gave them, even the whistles he got, he's on them like, you should have called that earlier. Yeah. Get your man together over here. You didn't see that down there? The whole time he's working the guy, and I'm looking at JB. He's sitting there like this at half court.
Looking good,
It's funny that you said that because there are certain coaches that will work the refs no matter what the game is. That's just their style. That's how they do it. Tibbs is that guy. I remember, I think I told this story earlier, when I worked with Thibodeau when he was at ESPN during his hiatus, he was gone for a stretch of months. And when he came back, I said, where you been? We haven't seen you in a while. He said, I went back in the lab. I said, what does that mean? He said, I called some friends, and I went on some scouting trips. Spent a couple of months in San Antonio with Pop. And I said, what did that look like? How does that go? He said, I asked him if I could come hang out. He said, sure, come on. And he opened up his notebook, and he just started writing. And he said, sometimes we think we know everything. Sometimes we think that because we've had success as a coach, that we're a successful coach. And that's not true. And clearly I was doing something wrong, or I wouldn't be working at ESPN right now. So I loved that about him. And first of all, I liked him. I thought he was a terrific guy to work with, very knowledgeable. But what that little nugget told me about him, oh, this is a dude that's going to have a comeback story and it's going to have a good ending. He's not done. And first of all, the fact that guys like Pop and others, he went to other NBA teams as well. The guys that they would do that, I think that's pretty big.
Yeah, that's cool.
But he said, I just went back in the lab.
Yeah.
And you know what? To your point right there, we could go back and look at a guy. We talk about LeBron all the time. Look at Mike Brown. He was here 2 years. He was 2 stints, long stint, 2 stints.
Right.
One was a little short.
Yeah.
He's now in Sacramento. Now, Mike Brown was always known for great defense. Offense was horrible.
Sure.
We don't know. He now is in Sacramento, and they have the most efficient offense
What'd
in the
they
league.
score? 126?
126 against the Warriors.
And De'Aaron Fox was getting all the other
Oh,
guys
my God.
shots in rhythm.
We're gonna talk
Everything.
about Fox in a sec. 'Cause
Yeah.
There's some Fox stuff we have to touch on. We did yesterday on the panel at the card
You
show,
said
which
you
we're
had a
gonna
top,
get to.
something you wanted to touch on before we leave the Cavs.
I do. I got 2 things real quick. Tomorrow we're gonna attempt something. You know how we've done Coach Tyvis on the iPad and break down some things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try going back to the last 3 possessions of the game and diagnose where the Cavs went defensively wrong. And a lot of
Good.
it comes down to rebounding,
Oh
and
my
rebounding
God.
more than anything is effort. And you can see especially the rebound that Randall got, not a single Cav turned around and tried to hit a body.
No.
Not a single one. And I'm gonna. I sent this to my coach.
That
back
was
in
the game, by
college.
the way.
That was the game.
That was the game.
So I sent that play to Coach Curley, who played in the NBA, power forward, and said, all right, I'm going to do this tomorrow, make sure I'm not out of line and how I'm going to break this down. And he goes, nah, I mean, you're the worst rebounder I've ever coached. I am, admittedly, the single worst rebounder in the history of rebounding.
What did you average per game in rebounds?
Probably. I think I had 2 on senior night, and that was my career high.
McNuggets.
So,
Do you remember McNuggets? Do you remember in practice where they used to put the ball in the middle of the floor and you got 5 guys around?
Go get it.
And you're face to face with the other guy playing defense, and there's 5 guys on defense.
we did a worse drill. He called it hamburger hell. No idea where the name came from, but it was 3-on-2, 3 offensive players, 2 defensive players. The defense had to get 3 straight rebounds before they got out. If you didn't get 3, it started. And mind you, some people got stuck with me. We had 3 7-footers on the team, a 6'9" kid, a 6'8" kid. There's 1 kid shorter than me.
They were hating you.
Oh, it was literally my least favorite
Mike
show
says
ever.
3 7-footers as if they're legit. If you're a 7-footer playing Division III, you're doppy. Come on, let's be honest.
In a rebounding drill, I don't care if you're 7
Okay,
foot.
that's true. It's
I'm
rebounding.
5'9". You're
still close to the basket.
The offense
Yeah.
has the advantage already. So I sent it to Coach Curley. Coach Curley broke it down with me. I'm going to try doing it tomorrow. Hopefully it works out. With technology and the iPad doesn't always work.
Can I
but-
ask you one question? I don't want to give away what
Yeah.
you're going to do tomorrow, but to me, it was effort-based.
It is effort-based.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
It
100%.
looked like a
100%
total
effort-based.
100%. Like they thought it was a regular season game before halftime.
Too many people-
And it was a playoff game.
Effort
I
and
also-
awareness.
I also thought
Awareness.
Thibodeau did a much better job with this. Like when the Cavs made that run, was it late first quarter, early second quarter? I can't remember now. And they closed they closed the gap, and then right in the beginning of the second half, remember, like the Cavs got off to a
They
good
had
start,
to do that several times.
and then Thibodeau called a timeout and just killed the momentum. And like I feel like the Cavs never did that.
No.
I still can't believe he had Jetty, Rubio, and Dean Wade on the floor at the same time. This is the playoffs.
The last point on the Cavs, G, and I'll let you start here, and if you want to take it a little different way, by all means. But we saw the Kings and some other teams in the league, equally young, first playoff experience, not kind of shy away from the moment. G, why do you think so many of the Cavs making their playoffs debut were just not ready for that spotlight?
Man, so it's about leadership, right? So sometimes this is why people think that I'm super negative on people. It boils down to leadership to me. Like when you are a coach, you are a motivator, you are a teacher, you're a facilitator, and sometimes what you don't understand is I watch Coach Prime right now. Coach Prime is going through spring practice, and he's a new coach. He was 1-10, and every time he come in there, it just seemed like he on one. He's saying, look, if your grades suck you out of here, I'm not getting effort. I'm sending people off the field now. He's just over the top. And sometimes as a player, when you in it, you don't understand why players are like that or why coaches are like that.
Is he setting a culture?
He's setting a tone. And so when your coach is running around pissed off all the time, you like, man, I'm tired of getting yelled at. I'm tired. Everything I do ain't right. But guess what? He's mentally preparing you. He's trying to tell you, if you think I'm tough, wait till you get out in New York and the crowd is going crazy, and the refs ain't giving you calls, they being overly physical with you, and your shots ain't falling. What are you going to do? Are y'all going to turn around and fold? Or are you going to come together and look at each other and be like, nah, we put too much work in for this, and you know what we had to go through to get here. So I just think sometimes you're not preparing the people, and when you got a young team, a coach has to be hands-on. You have to be hands-on. If you got a veteran team like LeBron them, like when they won, they'll figure it out.
Let me ask you this, both you guys. 30 shots, 38 points, I think. Is that too many? The reason I ask that, I know he's got to be a volume scorer. He's got to be their leading scorer. But to me, it felt like the guys just fell into a pattern where they were just content to watch him play.
But what choice did he have?
Well, you got to get other guys
But
involved.
He had 7
early.
assists.
Early, though.
I thought he was passing the ball, but guys weren't making. He had 7 assists, even with them missing all those shots.
8 assists.
I know. I don't know what the answer is, but to me, it felt like the early Bulls teams with Jordan and the early Cavs teams with LeBron, where they were just like, well, he's our dude. We're going to sit back and watch him play. Somebody else has to feel the urgency.
If he wouldn't have did what he did, they would have got blown out. Like, because there was no, like, when you look at another man's eyes and you see he ain't got it, he saw early, my bigs is not converting underneath.
So he just took the
He
risk.
said, I can't do it. Because it's game.
Mobley had his opportunity. 13 shots is a lot.
You know what?
He just couldn't make them.
One of the take a look at the Lakers box score. Call that up.
Okay.
I think they had 5 guys take 13 or 14 shots. To me,
5 guys take 13.
that's unbelievable, guys. That's the formula for winning basketball.
But again,
that's the LeBron effect.
But
no, I understand that, but that's a team with LeBron on it.
But Jay, Garland and Mobley had 13 or more shots. They just weren't making enough.
Yeah, but how many? After that, it was a huge drop.
Right, but who else is going to take a lot of shots?
Well, I just think when a guy takes 30 shots, I think oftentimes that tends to be more often than not a recipe for a loss.
Yes, and here's the thing.
It's like when a quarterback throws for 450 yards.
He did all of that, and you do realize that they were down. They were, up 1.
Yes.
With the ball.
With 2 minutes to
with
go.
2 minutes to go.
Yeah.
That 3 that they ended up hitting, there was 1 second left on the shot clock. I thought it was going to be yet another shot clock violation. And if it is there, I think the Cavs win that game.
Yeah, probably. I mean, he put the team on his back, and he almost did enough in a game where everybody else played like crap.